Michael Cohen's still on the stand, and we're getting updates by the minute. He's detailing the steps, taken to shut down the Stormy Daniels story. Let's bring in Jonathan Turley, constitutional attorney and a Fox News contributor. More updates from the courtroom. Cohen says that he and Alan Weisselberg spoke to Trump and expressed to him that Cohen would be paying the money. Trump was appreciative and said, good, good. Cohen says he was doing everything I could and more in order to protect my boss, which is something I'd done for a long time, would not hand out $130,000 non-disclosure agreement for somebody else. It goes on to say here that Cohen says that he had a home equity line of credit. The account was paperless. His wife would have not understood $130,000 missing from their joint account. Cohen says if this matter wasn't resolved, it was going to be catastrophic to Mr. Trump and the campaign. Then there was a call with David Pecker and Dylan Howard from the Inquirer about this. Howard was telling Cohen that the NDA needed to get done. It was going to be catastrophic for the campaign. Cohen says he asked Pecker to make the payment. Pecker said not a chance because he never got repaid for the McDougal agreement, couldn't do it again. Cohen left that call saying he would take care of it. So far, again, no evidence of a crime. And unless Cohen can establish in the jury's mind that the method in which he was paid back was fraudulent, where's the case?
Well, that's a good question, and it would be a novel one for the judge to raise at some point. What are we talking about here? That is, you have someone who is representing a client who comes in saying, I'm going to take care of this, and this is how I've taken care of it, and the client saying, good, good, we'll make sure you're covered. Why is that a crime? At the end of the day, Cohen is still discussing an arrangement that he came up with, he negotiated, and asking that his client should go to jail for doing something that he told him to do. Now, what's missing here is some notion of an intent to disguise or conceal a crime. It's not a crime to have an NDA. It's not a crime to try to get a story to go away. And in the case of Pecker, which he just referenced, Pecker said he was doing this for years before Trump ever thought of running for office, because that's what celebrities do. You had other witnesses who said, I think he did it because he really did not want to embarrass his family. He was also the host of a major television program, which has a clause in it, by the way, that you can lose the contract in scandal or controversy. So there's very likely a mix of different motives. But what you need for a crime is the intent to commit the crime. And that's what we're still light years away.
Just reading through some more coming out of the courtroom right now, Jonathan, and our own Carrie Kupek Urban noting one thing that has struck her listening to Cohen today is how desperate he seemed for Trump's approval and affirmation and would do anything for it, noting that this culminated in him taking out a home equity line of credit to take care of his boss's dirty business. She obviously followed that up with culminating in him taking out a home equity line of credit that he hid from his wife to take care of his boss's dirty business. This is just more and more bizarre by the moment, Jonathan.
Well, he did handle dirty business. I mean, Cohen had a horrible reputation. I criticized him when he was still representing Trump. He was a legal thug. And, you know, there's that old joke that they're going to replace white rats in labs with lawyers because there's just some things rats won't do. Well, Cohen was the ultimate lawyer who would do most anything. And and then he later said that he expected to be attorney general. And that does dovetail with other witnesses' testimony where they said, you know, he exaggerated, he exploded, he was volatile, he was unprofessional. All those things are true from all of us who have observed him for years.
And Jonathan, just real quick here, Lydia Hu raises this point. She says, for such important testimony, prosecutors should be clear. Where and when did these discussions with Weisselberg and Trump happen? On the phone, in person, in Trump's office, in Cohen's office, at Trump Tower? Was anyone else present? What was the time of day? Did anyone see them talking at that time? I mean, this is all kind of pretty generalized, and the prosecution is just letting Cohen spew without nailing down any details.
Well, what the prosecution is doing here is giving the impression to the jury that it's actually building the elements of a crime. It's going through the motion saying, aha, so you can confirm this, and here's a document. But when you look at it, there's nothing there. That is, these documents prove nothing but what is uncontested: payments to an NDA, an effort to silence a bad story. None of that's a crime, but the prosecution is simply trying to prove what they can prove, which are a bunch of non-criminal acts.
Okay, Jonathan, we are waiting on more updates to come from the courtroom. We should have more any moment now. Jonathan, thank you very much.